The Jupiter Boys. Is it recorded?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jupiter Boys. I jumped in a little early there.
And then I interrupted him.
Yep.
So unheard of.
My name's Jim Jupiter.
My name's Quinn Jupiter.
We're two boys. We're from the planet Jupiter. Each week we get together and have stupid conversations.
So you do not have to.
We flip a coin of truth to decide who goes first.
Typically, we don't move away from the microphone, but if we do, it sounds like we're going into the cavern. And we're jumping into a hole. And let's flip that coin of truth.
I would take the yellow side, please.
It's the yellow.
It's the yellow, which is good because I just came up with this topic 10 seconds ago, and it's a good way to crash test it.
It's fresh off your mind.
It's fresh off the old noodle.
I think that's a Willie Nelson song. Fresh on my mind. I think it's Fresh on my mind. It's in the Alan Partridge movie. He sings it to the shooter right before he gets shot in the shoulder.
I welcome people to tell Quinn how wrong he is about what he's just said.
No. It's
I'm sure something there.
I think it's always on my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not fresh on my mind. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. So, my topic today, Quinn, is I've been, the whole world is watching Game of Thrones unravel. We're all, fantasy, ever since really Lord of the Rings came back, has sort of been back in the public eye.
Yes.
It's sort of become a genre again. There was some fantasy genre stuff,
but it was very underground.
Exactly. Lord of the Rings brought it back into the mainstream.
Yes.
Now, I want to talk about in the sort of realm of what's sort of known as, quote unquote high fantasy, which is, like Lord of the Rings style, like Game of Thrones style.
Yeah.
Fantasy where it exists in this old world of kings and queens.
As much as and Lord of the Rings is different in a way that it has more magic than I'd say than Game of Thrones. I believe that Game of Thrones has a quite a bit of magic, but I feel like it's more spaced out in Game of Thrones.
And I think Game of Thrones is more religious based too.
Yeah.
Their magic is based on gods and
right.
There's dragons. There's
And there's it's very political
otherworldly creatures. Yeah, it's a very much more political thing than Lord of the Rings. But that's not my topic. My topic this week, Quinn, is in this high realm of fantasy.
Yes.
Typically these people live in castles.
Mm-hmm.
There's no indoor plumbing.
No, not typically.
These people have magic that can allow them to literally move mountains and slay, dragons.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
But they're shitting into pots.
Yeah.
And throwing them out the window. And there was a lot of flack recently from the Harry Potter crew.
J.K. Rowling, who says they make a big dookie mess on the floor.
She didn't say that. She just said that they went wherever they were and then evaporated it.
They just made a big dookie mess in their pants and then evaporated the poo-poo out of their pants.
And we've talked about how that's the greatest thing ever.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
Dog,
I'm not a
honest
huge
to God,
fan of it.
I think you could get used to shitting in your pants if 10 seconds after or a second after it's just dry and fine.
You know what? I've sharted before, and it is not an experience that you want to happen to you.
But part of the thing about sharting is that A, you've just sharted, so you've had an unexpected poop.
Yeah.
B, it's in your pants, and you have to clean it. You have to immediately go change your pants.
And you got to do the waddle.
Yeah.
You got to do the waddle.
Exactly. But the magicking away the poop removes all of those things.
But I just go to the washroom like a normal human being, like a civilized human being, and maybe, I'm talking maybe here, you get a magic bidet that squirts your butt. I still like the experience of sitting down and having a poop.
Right.
And I wouldn't like to do it in my pants. But that's the whole thing.
You wouldn't have to. But you also you wouldn't need a toilet.
Right.
So you could just sit down on the edge of a chair.
But it'd be so uncomfortable because you need that space in your bum. You need a space. Make a chair.
So you magic a hole in a chair.
Yeah.
Come on. You're.
That's right. If
you're
the
thinking inside the bun here.
I'm very thinking much inside the bun, and I'm also thinking that I need a bidet because I want to get water squirted in my bum, and it sounds so refreshing and nice.
Well, I think the bidet is more squirted at your bum.
Yeah, it's not in your bum.
It's not an enema.
No, it's not.
It's not
just like a
it's
gentle
not a douche nozzle.
It's a gentle cleansing.
Not a literal douche nozzle.
And you can buy the attachments. They're like $40 or something. It's pretty cool.
You can get them now. You can get them at sweetbidets.com
and Flo's hardware store.
Yeah.
Flo's just a lady. She gives us a lot of weird hardware. Like, she's got a lot of dildos in her hardware store. I don't know. I'm not going to tell her how to run her
She
business.
calls them hammers, but they're very bad at driving in nails.
Typically, the hammers don't have balls on them.
So what else about living in this sort of high fantasy world would just be like absolute dog shit?
Well, food, if you have magic food, right? Or if you have magic,
Yeah.
why the fuck are you eating like stews and shit? Just make whatever you want, like the most tasty thing in just like a piece of bread. Like you taste anything.
Right. So I wonder if, because like I think there was like, I could be wrong about this, but I think there
Well, I
was
guess
something...
there's not enough. First of all, there's not enough magic in Game of Thrones to do that.
Right.
Like
for
you
sure.
can just operate whatever you want.
No, exactly. Like that's sort of the realm of Harry Potter, but I'm pretty sure in Harry Potter...
You just have to use the ingredients that already exist. I don't think.
Yeah,
you can, like,
I don't think you
create
can...
anything.
Yeah, I think they've actually say like you can only move stuff. You can't like create stuff out
And
of
they
nothing.
kind of touch on that in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Not in Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Flaw. Not in that one.
Okay.
Because we don't talk about that one. But the first one,
the
the
Rhymes of
lady,
Grindelwald.
yeah, the lady does the food magics, and it's really cool. It's a cool scene.
Cool.
And I've heard the second movie is dog poo, so I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, well, I was out. I mean, I barely watched the first one, so
Oh, it's pretty good.
it's okay.
It's pretty good.
It's okay.
It's fun. It's whimsical.
It's okay.
It's like Harry Potter 1.
I was real done with the platypus by like 10 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, I'm
the
good.
niffler.
I'm good with this stupid fucking platypus.
It's a niffler, Jim.
Okay, well, it's a platypus, actually.
Actually, it's a niffler.
I'm gonna attack you with my power sword. Level 5.
Oh god!
So I just made fun
Critical
of
hit.
fully just made fun of ourselves for like.
Well, yeah, because we do play a D&D, so we
Yeah.
are losers.
Yep.
Yep.
That is the case.
Give us a wedgie on your way out. High fantasy, another thing that would suck. The only thing that would be good.
Here's the thing.
Sex, because sex is good anytime.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like
And
that.
specifically, you don't nothing to
I think
fucking
there's
do.
lots of good things about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you could make magic. But like, here's one thing that I think would suck dick about the fantasy world
sucking
is.
dick, probably.
Well, no, I mean, like there's
There's no
your
soap.
thing. Yeah,
No, there's no soap.
that's true.
The penises are
Well,
gonna
no, there's
smell.
soap. There's soap. Like that's just made out of animal fat. You can make soap in the high fantasy world.
Do they have soap? Well, they must have
They
some
must have
sort
soap,
of
right?
soap,
Like there's
yeah.
there's a bath scene in The Hobbit. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
like there's a whole bath song or something in the fucking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's really strange. It's like,
Yeah.
why would you include that? It's
It's
just
like, they all had a bath together and had a song. It's like, really, RJJ?
yeah, that biopic about his movie got like 20% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It looks like absolute horseshit.
Oh, it looks like
it
like
looks
poop.
real bad. Like as soon as he was like, "It's Tolkien, sir," I was like, "Oh, fuck off! Get fucked with this fucking movie."
I don't care that it's Nicholas Hoult. Is it Nicholas Hoult?
I have no idea who it is.
One of them. One of those whimsical white
One of
boys.
those fuckers.
So
but-
another thing that
But-
would
but-
suck.
No. But I was like on my way to this is wearing like wet wool all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like all of their shit is made out of wool,
Yeah.
and like they walk through the rain, and like you're just done. Like
Plus,
that's the end of you.
There's so much binding and straps,
so many
and
layers.
fucking leather, and like it just must be so uncomfortable.
And like think about how fucking rank it is underneath
Oh,
all that at the end of
man.
the day. And then you go under like a multiple like month quest.
So like when they take off their stuff, it just like stands straight up.
Yeah,
Like
you just like drop it and it just like hits the ground like with a bang.
It's like what before they put the CGI in that scene in Avengers Endgame where Thanos' armor is hanging on the Scarecrow. They just take out the CGI Scarecrow and it's just his armor staying there. It's like that. In the background of every Game of Thrones scene, you could just see armor standing up straight, like it's a haunted fucking house.
Yep. So that would suck. Also like haircuts.
Haircuts,
Because
would
like
probably
I
suck.
didn't see a single pair of scissors.
No.
So it's all like blades. So you just like fucking like grab some hair and just saw it off your head.
It's like how Thor got his haircut in Ragnarok. They just jam it. He's like got different tufts of hair going everywhere.
Yep.
Like that would fucking suck.
Also, what if you needed glasses?
Oh,
You're just
glasses.
fucked. You're just done fucked. Unless you get Gandalf to just like zap your eyes so you can see a billion miles.
Can you do that?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
And he's got.
If you ain't born an elf, you're not gonna be able to see real well,
He doesn't do a whole lot of magic. Gandalf doesn't.
right? Like for like a super powerful wizard,
Yeah.
he does very precious
So does
little magic.
Saruman. Like Saruman, neither does Saruman. He stays in a fucking tower the whole time,
I know.
and then like waves his magic stick, and like he's like, I can see through the eye of Sauron.
He waved his desexing stick around most unsexily. We've referenced that so many times on this show.
Only because you just randomly showed it to me one day, and I was like, this is the perfect thing.
It's very good. You got one more? We got 10 seconds.
So another thing that would suck is courting someone.
Right.
Like dating.
Okay, explain.
Dating. Because you're going to fucking
A
track
dragon
them
just
down.
burned your castle. All right, that's the end.
Or if you're going to track somebody down, you have to go you have to walk like a day to
That's
the
the
other
end,
village. Well, shit. And everybody in your town is related to you.
All right, what do you got for me this week? Actually, hold on.
It's the mid-show bowl break. Mitchell Bobrick. Mitchell Bobrick. Oh, Mitchell Bobrick.
Mitchell Ballbreak.
Mitchell Ballbreak. Hello, I'm Mitchell Ballbreak.
That's not Mitchell Ballbreak. That's not what Mitchell Ballbreak sounds like.
What does Mitchell Ballbreak sound like?
Mitchell Ballbreak sounds like this, because Mitchell Ballbreak breaks balls.
That checks out.
Yeah. Oh, also, I had like a lung full of weed when I did that.
I did that last week when I was talking to y'all. It's always a bad choice.
Oh shit!
You think you're gonna be fine, and then you're like, that was so
Well,
bad. That was so much worse
Just
than I
because
thought.
I did like a very rough impression on my lungs.
Yeah. Mid-show bowl.
All right, let's do this. So Quinn,
Yes.
what do you got for me this week?
Today I want to bring up something that I don't know if it's
Is it a child? Are you bringing up a child?
yeah. The child is specifically Haley Joel Osment.
Okay.
And I'm bringing him up, and maybe I might feed
know
him
what I
a
meant.
little less.
So, how is he eating? Is he sleeping at night?
He's eating pretty well.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see he's eating pretty well.
Yeah, I mean he's not that chubby when he's a kid, right? So he's a baby right now. Well, actually, he's probably in his Sixth Sense days right now. So that's not what I'm here to talk about. Although my beautiful baby Haley Joel Osment boy is doing great. I wanted to bring to you. I don't know if it's like an area specific thing, but I've been noticing when I've been driving past houses that I see on about every third house in around where we live
Yeah.
stars,
Yes.
like big stupid looking stars, and they're in any position, like any place you want on the front of your house. You can just put a star, and it doesn't say anything creative. It doesn't.
They
It
can
doesn't
be-
express yourself.
So I-
like there can be black or gold or silver. Those are the three colors I've seen.
I've seen red too.
Red
and
that's
blue.
right.
But this is like just to explain to listeners who maybe aren't familiar with this sort of trend.
Is it a trend somewhere else, or is it only specific to
I
this
honestly
area?
don't know. I do know that it's very prominent.
But
in
that's
this
not
area.
that's not necessarily what I wanted to bring up. But continue to try to explain.
So it's a 5-sided star. It's your standard pentagram.
Yeah.
You know, upright.
Upright.
Like not the inverted pentagram, the upright one. And it comes in a variety of colors. It actually looks like those tattoos that emo kids got. Like
Yeah, because it's
in the
got
early
like
2000s.
it's even got like the kind of like
the
points,
ridges.
the ridges. Yeah,
Like each point is peaked.
and you know where they get them? They get them all from this one store around the area, and it is one store in like one of the most touristy places around this area.
Okay.
Because it's very pretty and it's got a lot of different views.
Yeah.
And it's this one specific store, right? So I didn't want to really bring those. I want to kind of more openly discuss home decorating because and especially like outdoor decorations and decorations that you kind of want people to like look at and like notice about your house. Like, there's like the home sweet homes or even the inside of your house. Like specifically you got a turtle that hangs on the edges of your pots and like a little lawn gnome that like kind of just like hooks onto the edges of your pots or any of your like things that you want in your garden.
Yeah.
And those are specifically pretty fucking rad. Like, those I understand.
And those could be indoor, outdoor.
Right.
Those are indoor. Like those are versatile.
But like,
those are versatile solutions for modern living, right?
But like, who the fuck was the first guy to be like, hey, you know what'd be a great idea? Is if we took small, bearded, tiny, pointed hatted little dudes and put them in ceramic on our front lawn.
It probably was. I'm
Probably folklore.
Yeah,
about
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm thinking it probably came over from like the Scandinavian countries.
Right.
And
because
they
do
have like
talk
a
about
whole
gnomes and goblins
mythos
and
of like
stuff.
little people and like like the fairy people or whatever.
Yeah.
So it probably migrated from that.
Yeah, but like it's so strange that people still have lawn gnomes. Like they're so creepy, and every time you're not looking at one, they're moving. I'm not trying to say like they're moving.
There's a Goosebumps book about that.
Oh, when you put fucking sunglasses on them or fucking like some cool sports team, like you got your fucking Toronto Maple Leafs jersey on your that just makes it worse. You're humanizing them. You're making them more alive.
You're making them want rights. You're making them want to feel what it's like to be a human.
So, hopefully in a few months, or however long it takes, I will be moving out of my house. Right. And I want kind of some tips and tricks and ways that I can decorate and think outside the bun. Think outside of it, Jim.
Okay.
Taco Bell this bitch.
All right, well, I'm just going to have another little toke for inspiration, but tell me what you're thinking so far.
So what I'm thinking so far is I can't go too heavy on the weed. I can't go too heavy on the weed symbolism because that's kind of played out.
Oh yeah, you don't want just like a total stoner den. Like,
but at the same time, maybe like a classy magic eye. But I'm thinking maybe not a classy magic eye because it might draw my attention from my guests, and I want to kind of be the whole.
So you're talking a magic eye, like one of those
the posters that you can kind of like if you look a certain way, you can see a different thing.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
And like, I don't know how to buy paintings. How do you buy paintings? Do you just go based on how you feel? Do you go based on how they look?
See, for me, paintings are more about art in general.
Yeah.
For me, like this is just personally how I choose art because I'm not like I don't have a particularly deep feeling when I purchase art. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like I see an art and I'm just like holy hell, I want that thing, and I buy it. But I think it's also just fine to just appreciate art without buying it. But anyway, when I buy like art to decorate my house, which is also kind of a different kind of art because it's like the most sterile version of your art because it's like all the art that all your guests will see.
I'm just gonna put some titties up. I don't care.
See, you say that, then you're gonna bring your mom. You're gonna bring your mom or a girl home, and they're gonna be like, "The fuck."
That's kind of weird, yeah. Unless it's a classy nude. Well, no. Even then,
you look kind of weird. So like, that's the kind of thing that you could do when you're like married and a weird pervert.
Yeah.
But like, that's it.
So, other than that, instead of like weed symbolism, how can I make it known that people know I'm down? No, I'm down to clown. I'm a guy who tokes on the reg.
Right.
But without being overt, without being obtuse.
See, one thing that I did that I thought was kind of cool, back at my college, bedroom, was I had that giant Reefer Madness poster.
Yeah.
Because it's like that 1936 movie, so the poster is really cool because it's like that old school, like drawn, like with like the old school graphics.
Okay.
And it's like, it's like Reefer Madness, like coming soon, and like it's like it's got the whole thing.
I think my framed the thing poster probably gives it away that I'm a big. Well, at least
yeah. Like any kind of like, and you would have to put any kind of poster like that in a frame. You can't just put them on the wall.
No.
Like that's Bachelor Edit 101.
You know what was my favorite poster that you had? Well, I think we both had maybe the Fallout poster that had all the different Vault Boys. And it was like all their different perks were all over the poster.
I remember that. I think like it came with my game and I didn't want it.
And I wanted it. And I don't know if I had it for a long time. I think I like accidentally ripped it in half one day, like moving something. Like I moved my room around and
just sobbed.
Yeah, and I was like walking on my floor and it was like on the floor and I just and I was like, oh, no, and I tried to like tape it back together, but I was like, that looks like dog shit, throwing it out.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've done that, and I've actually gone very wild on decorating my room at my.
But see, you don't want to make it. You don't want it to like. You kind of have to have exactly because you don't want it to look like a fucking Jack Astor's or like like fucking TGI Fridays like with the fucking like shit all over the walls.
Yeah, I'd see. I'm thinking the space that I'm going to have is a lot smaller than my space right now, and I think I have too much space on my walls. But the thing is, I'm so I'm so devoted to those things that I have on my walls right now that it's hard for me to face the noise and kind of
like
take it
generally,
down.
I would say unless the wall is a big wall, it like, you know, a fairly sizable wall, it shouldn't have more than one piece of art on it. So like make it count.
You know what'd be cool is if you got like a painting. If you got a painting that was the size, like if you had a kind of like a smaller wall,
Right.
and you got a painting made that was the size of the wall, so that you didn't have to paint over the wall.
Okay.
Like you could take it down anytime
It's
you
just a
want.
screen,
It was just a
essentially.
big mural, like
Okay.
of like something cool, but like something kind of like subtle enough that it's not too.
See, I kind of like this,
Crazy.
like the idea of a wall skin, like
Yeah.
a wall case. So
I'm
that, like,
pretty sure they do actually
Oh,
have those online.
I know that they have skins like decals, like that you can put on.
See,
but, like, a
that
full wall.
that noise, that was the genius gong,
Yeah.
and it's,
It's a slightly different gong than Gong Stupidity,
Yeah.
but that's actually a fucking decent idea.
Yeah.
And like you could market it as like protect your walls and save your deposit for your landlord.
Fuck
Like if you
yeah.
can like take it off again,
we should make them.
we should
We
make
should
them.
design them like a Dave
TM,
Franco's
TM,
dream,
TM,
like a
TM.
Dave Franco's Dream Boy.
Yeah,
mural.
a full wall portrait of Dave Franco.
It'll be like a full body shot too. Like we could fit his whole body in there,
Oh my god, that would be
his
grotesque.
whole kit and caboodle. Whew.
No.
All of Dave.
No, thank you.
Nothing left to the Dave imagination. But this isn't Dave Franco's Dream Boys. What are some other ideas? Like skin is a very good idea. Let's mark it down. Skin, good idea.
Yeah.
Also, having skin is a good idea too. Typically.
What are you saying?
Having skin, it's not the craziest thing ever. It's probably the sanest thing, and that's why you're so surprised. Okay.
So what we were just describing, by the way, with a wall skin is just wallpaper.
Oh shit, it is, isn't it? But wallpaper's boring.
And that's
Like,
the end of the topic.
they don't really make a mural version of
They
wallpaper.
so do.
They do?
Our fucking aunt and uncle had like a forest mural.
Yeah, that's right. That was shit. Sick as shit. I always wanted that.
Yeah.
I fucked up. Sorry.
That's the end of the topic.
We tried to pass. I'm sorry. We tried to pass off ideas as our own.
Although
When they were
wallpaper
already-
isn't like one big piece that you slap on.
Yeah, it's
But
like
you
little
could-
chunks. Of
You could
pieces.
make it like into like you could just take one big picture and cut it into strips, and you
I
just
think
be like,
wallpaper art needs to be a thing where they take other
Totes.
pieces of other wallpapers and try to make them together into some super wallpaper.
that's pretty incredible.
That's true art right there. Anyways, we're going way past, but we've got a good idea on our hands. I think we might go far with
We're gonna
this.
start an online store.
Let's take it to either Dragon's Den or the
Shark Tank?
Shark Tank.
So, anyway, we've been the Jupiter Boys. My name's Jim Jupiter.
And my name's Quinn Jupiter.
Thank
I
you
have
Thank you to Christo Graham for the use of our theme music. Okay.
I just snot bubbled water in my face. I didn't snot bubble, but I blew it in my nose and it went all over my face. I was gonna take a sip of water. This episode's gone off the fucking rails.
Thank you for joining us. If you're joining us from like Podbean, like if you just followed us because we were featured recently,
Yeah, holla at you boys.
welcome to the show. This is it. This is what we do here.
You can holla at said
Sorry,
boys.
it's not better.
You can holla at said boys.
Yeah, I'm at the Jupiter Boys on Twitter.
And I'm at Quinn Jupiter.
Okay, and you can go to thejupiterboys.com. You can get merch there. You can listen to all the old episodes. We have another show on the network. It's called Dave Franco's Dream Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a third show on the network. It's our boys Durf and Dietz, and they've got a great show. So go check that out.
They do. Their
shoot-
NHL preview, I believe, is up soon.
Shoot those nuts.
Straight down your NHL previewed gullets.
What dolphin shark?